Bam! Welcome to the Real Talk Sports Show. I'm your host, the Minister Jonathan Simmons, and we thank you, each and every one of you, for joining us here on the show. And we are always thankful, most of all, I shouldn't say most of all, but we're also thankful to those of you watching us on the replay. Those of you who say, hey, man, we couldn't catch you live, bro, but we wanted to make sure that we caught the Real Talk Sports Show. We appreciate you very much. Remember, follow us anywhere on social media at Real Talk Sports, the number 7. You can follow me personally at Minister J Sim. Also, anywhere on social media, like I mentioned, Real Talk Sports 7, including now on our YouTube page as well. Check us out there. Please, ma'am, please, sir, when you go there, you know what to do. Subscribe, 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 and hit that little bell, ping, and it'll let you know when we are having shows on the air. So we appreciate you for please joining us if you could, please. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So I guess we are might be having a little situation with our sound. Let's just take a peek here and see what's going on in our magic audio den here. And I don't know, my meters are running, so hopefully and prayerfully we can be heard now on the air. Let's take a peek. We have her in the background here. She is on in the green room. She is one of the most beautiful women on Sports Talk Radio or TV, simply known as the Queen. Tree Dolman is back in the building. Tree, welcome back.
Hello.
What's going
I
on?
can't hear anything.
All right. Well, my meter's off saying
I
I
hope you
can't
guys
hear.
can hear me.
Okay, I'm gonna let the queen go on for a second here. She cannot hear me. I'm gonna check and make sure I can be heard on Facebook here. Let me go ahead and check and see if I can be heard on the Happy People at Facebook. We'll check it out. And okay, well, I don't know what's going on, but I can be heard. Let me just type out here that let's.
Yeah, I
We'll try
wonder
to.
if it's Jonathan. But if you can hear me, hello everyone. Hope you all had a wonderful weekend. Go Blue, Michigan versus everybody. Repping my Michigan. Been repping Michigan. So
Well,
very
hopefully and
proud of my
prayerfully, like I
Michigan
say again, the
Wolverines.
tree is she still can't hear me, but the good news is you guys can hear me on Facebook. So I'm not sure what
I
the
think
problem may be.
Jonathan was frozen. Oh, now he's back. I'm being
All right, let's
frozen.
see here. I'll type this up here. It says here, I'll put this on the screen here. All right, and now I don't hear anything. Okay, I'm not exactly hear what's going on, but there's Tree, and that's Todd's comments there. And my audio is still working, so I'm not sure. I don't hear Tree at all. We're going to reboot, guys. We'll be back with more of the Real Talk Sports Show in just a moment. And evidently, we still can't be heard. The Tree can't hear me. So we'll be right back. Take a break. We'll reboot, and hopefully we'll have everything rocking and rolling in just a moment. Don't go anywhere, please. Thank you, and thank you. Here we go. We'll be back.
Got the W this weekend. We have so many people hating on us.
I'm not sure what's going on tonight, but I can now not hear Tree, so we're not sure what is going on with our happy mic and headset today. We're having a little technical difficulty. Of course, that's the way it always works when we have a lot of guests scheduled. We always have a little chaotic here on our live broadcast. So we're going to try another system here, and hopefully and prayerfully we can get everybody rocking and rolling here and get everybody off the freeze screen. Like you said, we'll be back with more of the Real Talk Sports Show. I know you guys can hear me. I see Tree's nose is wiggling. System here, and hopefully and prayerfully we can get everybody rocking and rolling here and get everybody off the freeze screen. Like you said, I have an echo here.
That
so
is interesting.
Right. Can you hear me now? Nope, evidently she cannot. Okay, I'm not sure exactly what is
Okay.
going on, but we'll
I
try
think
to
I'm gonna
review a
have
couple of
to.
things here and see, guys. Like I said, we're sorry that we can't get
I'm
everything
gonna have
cooking
to
there.
try a
Shucky
different
ducky.
way.
Thank you, sir. I can now hear the queen.
Oh, shucky ducky, we back in this.
Okay, I can hear the
I'm
queen, but
gonna have to
evidently
do
she
this a
can't hear me.
different way.
All right. Well, I'm not sure what's going on today, guys. Like I said, we've had some wild things
That's
happening
weird.
here on our live stream. Like I said, we do have the queen. We can hear her, but evidently she cannot hear me, and she is going in and out. So again, I'm not exactly sure what is going on
All
tonight.
right. I'm
But unfortunately, how it works,
coming.
guys.
I'm just gonna
All right.
join from my phone because obviously it's my computer.
I can hear her now coming through.
Oh,
All right. Let's go and get.
okay. Now I'm
All
ready.
right. There we go. Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I hear you. So obviously it's my computer because I heard nothing.
Right. Now we can hear you. Everybody was on social media. We can hear you, but you could hear me. And Sully said restart. I think we got everything up and running here now. We are back, boys and girls, here on the Real Talk Sports Show. We're on and popping here, and we're excited to be back on so that you guys now can officially hear us. And Demetrius says, we love you both. I'm appreciating that. All right, hang on a second. She's going to show us that T-shirt. What we got here in that shirt here? Let's take a peek here.
Michigan. Whoop, 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 whoop. Go blue.
Let's get here. It says here, all right, a match proposal has now hit the screen officially. Todd is it's out there,
I
Queen. There you
can't
go.
read it. Can you read it, please? Some on
Yeah, it
myself.
says he says to the Queen before the show gets started, will you marry me? LOL.
Ah. Thank you, Todd. But as you know, I'm already a married woman.
All right, buddy. All right, and Sully says, how about them dogs? And he says Michigan is gonna lose.
Ah! Stop! Don't be a hater. Don't be a hater. You don't hear me talking about Georgia. I'm excited for Georgia. I'm celebrating their successes. Why can't you just do the same for Michigan? I'm just saying.
Yeah, guys, let's show the love. I mean, at the end of the day, yeah, we'll talk about that in our college segment. We got some this great show. Now that we got everything up and running here, we're gonna talk a little bit about the Hawks. Tree, you were at the game. I'd like to get your impressions on what you felt about seeing the Hawks for the first time live up close and in person. Also, maybe even some thoughts if Tyrone and others come on about what you think about this in-season tournament thing they got going on. Then we're going to talk a little high school football. We're going to give some big shout outs to two teams we've covered who actually have advanced into the second round. They're now into the quarterfinals. Talk a little college football. I don't know if the rankings will for the playoffs will come on before we go on because they are starting late tonight. So we'll talk some college football, and we're starting a new segment. We've done it on our Saturday show. We're going to bring it on here, the Tuesday night show. It's called Falcons Flashback, where we bring on a former Falcon to join us. And this week, we're going to bring a guy who is ranked by the AJC as the 49th greatest Falcon of all time. Michael Haynes will join us in the broadcast about the 8:35, um, the 8:35 segment. Okay, I guess because Todd is thinking maybe if he continues to show the love that you might marry him. Here's what he says now. He says, I've changed my mind. I think Michigan will win it all.
Go, God.
I guess the marital turn down has got him thinking differently. He said, I got to approach this a little differently. He said, maybe if I support Michigan, I got a better shot. My man, my man Todd, he's in the picture. We got to like that. All right, so let's talk a little bit about the Hawks. What did you see? What do you think? Oh, before we go any further, let's give a big shout out and congrats because he actually won't be playing tonight. Trey Young with little Trey number 2.
Yeah, his little daughter is born.
Congratulations. He now has a match set. Trey Young, congratulations to him, his wife, and his family. Now a prop papa for the second time. So, yeah, big shout out to him. And I'm not mad at the guy. I mean, people, back in the old days, a lot of times guys wouldn't, um, would not miss these games and things like that. But you got a different sensibility now. Guys understand that family is important. So, kudos to him for taking time with his family and
Oh, definitely.
seeing another child hitting the uh you know the world. So
Yeah,
again, congrats to Trey
it's
Young
time
on
for
being a proud papa.
life. Yeah.
So what did you think about the Hawks when you saw them the other night? They of course lost the game to the Miami Heat. What were your thoughts about seeing them up close and in person?
Well, my thoughts, of course, the atmosphere was just electric. It was just such a great atmosphere. I love their come out song and their video. Very great. It gets everybody hyped and ready to see the game. What I did not like was how the Hawks started. So, unfortunately, Miami came and they didn't even have all of their starters. They didn't even have the normal starters playing. It was two people that were out, but the Miami Heat came ready to play and they were up by a lot and overscored the Hawks. I want to say it was over 20 something points in the first quarter. Now, thankfully, the Hawks came back. And when you look at quarter two, quarter three, quarter four, it was pretty even. And the third quarter, they actually tied with the same number of points that they scored, but they just could not rebound back from that first quarter. And then when it was close to halftime, they were coming back, they were making that push. But then right at the buzzer, Miami Heat scored a 3-pointer and it kind of took away the energy, but they did play much better in the second half. And like I said, second quarter and going forward. What really hurt them was how they came out and played in that very first quarter. So my advice is just that they have to just start strong so that they don't have to worry about trying to make that comeback, because they never did come back and even tie the score or tie the game at any point. They were always down.
Yeah, definitely. I thought myself the same thing, that that last bucket by Miami really kind of shifted momentum because the Hawks had gotten it down to single digits. They had a nice run. They had Miami back on their heels. And then suddenly that three-pointer kind of really pushed them back out here as well. Let's go back to social media here. You guys, can't you guys wait till we get to the college football segment? You're all over it. Well, actually, it's Ohio State plays Michigan, and Sully's saying, put me in the game. Okay, there we go. And Demetrius always asking, where's Mr. Poole? So Mr. Poole always joins us late because he's got a lot of stuff going on. Hopefully, he will join us in the college football segment when we do that, or maybe later on as we talk some football, because you know how he does it. He is, like I said, a busy man, but we hope to have him join us again in the latter segments. Yeah, so let's just take a look at that Gawks game against Miami. One of the things is that every team seems to have that kryptonite, and for the Hawks, it does seem apparently be the Charlotte Hornets and the Miami Heat. The Miami Heat, I think the biggest thing with them is defensively, they create some matchup problems for the Hawks. The other thing too is that the Heat put a lot of pressure, and the Hawks don't necessarily like that, especially Trey Young, that consistent pressure on the ball. And then they really don't have a real answer for Bam Adebayo. I mean, our guys are very, very good down in the paint, but Bam Adebayo is just an absolute beast. And when he plays against the Hawks, he seems to bring his A game out. And he had his A game in full throttle. 39 of the 48 minutes he played, 26 points, 17 rebounds, 4 assists. And I think he had 3 blocks for the game as well. Kyle Lowry, long in the tooth, but another guy that's a Hawk killer, 17 points, 4 assists, and had some really back-breaking three-pointers when the Hawks had kind of closed the lead on several occasions. And this is the thing that irritates me the most. I don't know why Atlanta teams allow guys that are uh, backups and you know unknown players to come in and ball out. Jamie Jaquez, a rookie, 20 points, 4 assists, and 3 rebounds, and really for most of the first half, he's one of the reasons why the Hawks were kept at bay. So yeah, not good. Trey Young, to his credit, played like a Trey Young game. 27 points, 11 assists. His tag team partner, DeJounte Murray, also put in 23, had several clutch three-pointers. DeAndre Hunter, mm, very frustrating. 36 minutes, only 10 points and 2 assists for him. And Bogey, off the bench, 15 points to kind of round out the top scoring for the Hawks. So, yeah, I mean, the Hawks, they just can't go and just expect this backcourt to carry the team. These guys are going to have to do better. And DeAndre Hunter, as you know, Tree, that's everybody's expecting him to pick up the slack.
Yeah, they are. And Trey was even saying after the game and the post press conference that Miami Heat is a team that they have to play. And the only way, not the only way, but he was saying the way to beat them, you have to be able to shoot the three. because they give you the three to a certain extent, but they don't really allow you to drive into the paint. So he was saying that whenever they play the Miami Heat, they really have to shoot the threes. And that's pretty much how they beat the Miami Heat.
Yeah, no question. And they have to, I mean, the thing about it is they're going to have to find a way to, make those shots count. Like you said, again, the Heat puts a lot of defensive pressure on the Hawks, especially ball pressure. So
Mhm.
they really, for me, the key with the Heat is you got to continue to move the ball. I mean, that's really key with any of these teams they play, but they've got to keep good ball movement because the Heat close on you so quickly, they make it difficult for you to be able to really get your shot off. So hopefully they'll be able to pick that up and do that more the next time they play because that's a team they're going to have to, I think, get by if they're going to have any shot to, move on in postseason playoffs.
Yeah. Yes. It
Well, we
was
shall
not
see.
pretty that first quarter.
Yeah,
At
because they get what they get. Didn't they give up 40 points in the first quarter?
I want to say, if I can recall correctly, I think the score was 24-44 or something like that. But I
Yeah,
believe
you
the
right.
Miami Heat had 44 points in the first quarter. It was pretty ugly.
Yeah, you can't give up you can't give up that many points in the first period, and you can't give up almost 80 points, in the first half. I mean, this has been a problem for the Hawks. I mean, unfortunately they've come back in some of their games that they've won, but I mean, they're going to have to tighten up defensively, like you said, out of the box. I don't know whether these guys are just not. I mean, I don't understand what that is. Tree, you play. What would cause a team to not be fully engaged, to start off a ball game?
I really don't know, because every team that I put on, the coach was very defense minded, and that's pretty much what we worked on: defense, defense, defense. We rarely worked on offense, and he was strict about not resting on defense. If you need to rest on offense. So I've always just been focused on defense, defense, defense. And we've always come out really strong and hard, even if we were playing a weaker team. He set goals that, hey, they can't score over 40 points in the entire game. If they do, you have a suicide for every point over 40. So he just did different things to motivate us to where we would not come out lax. And I do get, in the NBA, you can't do that. I do understand that. But I'm not sure, because, like I said, when the team is announced and when the video comes on, and I mean, it is really an electrifying atmosphere. And I'm in the stands and I'm ready to play. I'm like, ooh, like, ooh, this is exciting. Put me in, coach. So I really don't understand that. And yeah, I mean, we played the Miami Heat a lot. Sorry, Sparkle's trying to.
Well, I'm
Sparkle's
trying to make a guest appearance.
Yeah, but we played the Miami Heat a lot, and I mean, you would just think that it would be better, but we just have to be better. We have to learn from this game, and I'm sure that they'll look at the tape and go back and figure out what is the best strategy going forward when we play the Miami Heat, but also when we play other teams.
Yep. So he said the Hawks need to calm down, get their shooting on point, play some good defense, and then he says, hey, they need to watch some films. How other teams are doing their stuff and try to see if they can get something out of it and make it work. I'm just not. I'm just tired of us not getting that championship ring. I think we're all in the same boat. So I mean, all of us here that follow sports, we want to see that. Now, Demetrius and Alexander said something a little interesting. He said Trey should not play in the fourth quarter.
Wait, what? Who said that?
That was Demetrius. He said Trey should not play in the fourth quarter.
That's not going to happen. You do realize that he's the highest paid Hawk, right?
Yeah, he's not. Yeah, he's not. I mean, and I listen. I understand the 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 thought and sentiment behind that comment because unfortunately Trey has had a couple of bumpy fourth quarters. I mean, the other night he dropped 33 in the second half, and then I don't say he went ghost, but you really couldn't. He really wasn't the same player in the second half. So I'm not sure whether it's just the additional defensive pressure on him, as guys know he might be your top scorer. Demetrius says that this is Mr. Murray's team, talking about DeJounte Murray. Well,
Well, not
all
yet.
I know is this.
'Cause
Yeah,
if you look at the contracts, it's still Trey's team.
yeah. I mean, DeJounte, does he have that tough guy mentality? Absolutely. He actually has a mentality more like a power forward than a shooting guard. Matter of fact, I saw him get a block on wasn't Bam Adebayo, but someone else from Miami, and the ball had been released, and he said, "I'm not having none of it." So yeah, DeJounte is a tough guy, but it is still Trey's team because, as Tree mentioned, he's getting paid many, many, many bucks. Speaking of paid, you always have to kind of support those who sponsor us, and we want to give a big shout out to one of our sponsors right now. So keep it locked right here for more of the Real Talk Sports Show. We'll be back after a few announcements. Thank you.
Did you know that Allen Vigil Ford in Morrow, Georgia also has Lincoln? Over 35 years of using the Vigil Touch to provide excellent customer service, works hand in hand with the Lincoln Motor Company to provide a luxurious and seamless way to acquire your next luxury vehicle. Lincoln has an array of full-service complimentary owner benefits. These benefits include hospitality partnerships, service pickup and delivery, all which can be accessed through the Lincoln Way app. You can even contact the 24/7 concierge to have someone assist you. Come and see our great inventory of new and pre-owned Lincolns today. Call 678-364-7345 to make an appointment with one of our brand champions or shop 24/7 online at allenvigillincoln.net.
We're back on the Real Talk Sports Show. I'm your host, Minister Jonathan Simmons, and we thank you for joining us. And we have, of course, next to me, the Queen, Miss Tree Dolman, in the building. Yeah, you saw that little flash up there. We'll be talking about the Falcons in our second half of the broadcast. I'm not quite sure what to make out of the Falcons, but we can talk some good news about football, high school football. Big shout out, first of all, to the Jonesboro Cardinals. Jonesboro ranked number 3 in their region, had to travel all the way down to Brunswick, Georgia, to play a team that has had a long record of being an outstanding team. That's Glenn Academy. But the Jonesboro Cardinals came home with a stunning 32-31 victory and now advanced to the Sweet 16 in the high school football playoffs. So big shout out to the Jonesboro Cardinals. Big shout out.
Yay, go Jonesboro.
Yep, they handled their business. And speaking of handling their business, Stevenson High School, the Jaguars, the team we also got a chance to do one of their games. They also won their game at home. And so now, because of their ranking in the region, they now actually have a chance to now play their second game at home, playing a team from the south side, Luella. So big shout out to the Stevenson Jaguars for winning their game and advancing to the second round as well. So it's really great to see these schools, kind of do their thing. Very excited that we actually got a chance to cover some of these guys. And like I said, I want to give a big shout out to both of those teams. And Stevenson's score, let's go ahead and pull that up here. They routed Northwest Whitfield. Northwest Whitfield came up from, I believe, down near the Macon area. And the final score of the game was 62-15.
Whoa.
Right. Stevenson laid the wood to them. And one of the guys that has always been big on that team is one of their linemen. I'm going to let you guys listen to a little interview I had with them a few weeks ago, and one of their big wins that actually got them to this position to a home game when they won over Holy Innocent. Let's take a listen.
All right, guys, we're on the field post-game. Jaguars, for the second week in a row, win a big game at home against Holy Innocent. We have a young man that's going to introduce himself to you right now.
Hey, my name is Ramondo Craddock. I'm number 0, D and the tight end from Stevenson High School.
Listen, man, the first half you guys were dominant, but it seemed like kind of Holy Innocent got their stride in the second half. What was the key for you guys making a big stop, especially on that fourth down play to end the game?
It really is just our endurance. Like, we work hard in practice. We run a lot. So I feel like at the end of the game, they were kind of gassed. And, like, we just had that extra win, and we prepared for them. Like, we prepared. We had these 2 weeks. See, last year we were sick. We didn't get to prepare how we did this year. But, we got these 2 weeks to prepare. We ran. We worked hard. And it really came through at the end of the game to help us out.
All right, guys, we're on the field here. High school football game of the week brought to you by Real Talk Sports and Allen Vigil Ford. We got a young man that was doing it up big tonight. Number 4, he's going to introduce himself to you right now.
My name is Devin Ingram, number 4 from Stevenson High School, and I'm a senior.
Hey, man, what was the key for you guys tonight? Big win over Miller Grove.
The key was just run the ball hard. We seen what we liked, so we took it.
Listen, man, you guys had a great game today. Now, you guys now 6-2 or 6?
Yeah, so those two guys are keys to their team. They're a big defensive two-way player, and that guy number four, yeah, he's a stud. He's rushed for over 1,000 yards this season. I know he had a big game in their opening game, so I just want to give a big shout out to both of those guys as they continue to lead their teams, hopefully into the state semifinals or maybe into the finals down to Dome.
Very impressive.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, I'm just glad to see more of the teams that are, well, of course, these guys are north of I-20, but just glad to see a lot of the teams from the east and from the south side of Metro Atlanta, begin to advance. 'Cause a lot of these teams had not. We only just had one or two teams, so it's good to see so many of them. Monday's Mill, I believe, won their game as well. And Luella, even though they're playing Stevenson, they're from Henry County. So shout out to the south side and east side for doing it up big, for doing it up big. Yes, indeed.
Yes.
Well,
I
we
okay.
yes.
Good.
I can see you now. There you are. Okay.
You
Yeah.
say
So, like I said, there's a lot of good stuff going on. Now we're going to talk a little college football in just a moment, but I'm going to ask you this question before we go to the break.
Mhm.
How impressive was it for you, being a Michigan fan, to see Michigan be able to pull that game off, against a very good opponent without having their head coach? How big was that for you as a Michigan fan, and now going forward? What are your thoughts about your guys really kind of taking down Georgia and maybe some of these other teams for the national championship?
Well, to answer your first question, I'm very proud of Michigan, very proud of the team, very proud of the coaches. I feel awful that this decision was made prematurely. I do feel that they need to let the investigation play out before doing any punishment. And I just feel that honestly, it's just a lot of haters because I've already felt that Michigan was going to win the national championship this year. And I still feel that way. And seeing how the team came together in spite of all of the difficulties, and they rallied together and played their tails off and ran and rushed for so many yards. I'm very proud of the Michigan Wolverines, and I see them going forward winning the national championship. This actually, I just think, helped us get to that point even further because now we're all motivated. Michigan versus everybody.
Michigan versus everybody. Yeah, I mean, to their credit, and certainly a very emotional assistant coach came on and talked about, how pleased he was with, Coach Harbaugh giving him a shot and really entrusting the team to him. Because as much as Penn State, I know a lot of people say, well, Penn State never wins against top quality teams. They still came into the game as a top 10 team and outstanding defense. And Michigan just said, look, we're not going to worry about this. We're going to ground and pound. And they used that running attack to just wear them out. And, again, they already had an outstanding defense. They just held them at bay. So, yeah, big shout out to Michigan for what they did. Big shout out, of course, here to Georgia. They
Mhm. Oh, Georgia put a spanking. Listen, they didn't just beat Ole Miss; they put a spanking on Ole
they
Miss.
dropped the hammer on the Ole Miss Rebels. And then, of course, the talk was that Kirby wasn't talking to Lane Kiffin. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's like this. They talk all the time, except when they play one another.
Mhm.
Kirby is all business. I think that he has got his team on that razor's edge because all this talk had been they didn't play anybody. They hadn't have a big game. The offense is not so good, but doggone,
Mhm. I
they
think
just
Georgia is going
waxed
to
them.
be number one in the rankings tonight.
Yeah, I would think so. I mean, it's gonna. I mean, why would you not make them
Mhm.
number one? I mean, look at that game. I mean, I know you're at home, but still, you're playing a number 13 ranked team in the country. Only had one loss. Very, very potent Ole Miss team, and Georgia just took it to them right from the opening bell, up 28-14 at the half, 38-14 at the end of three, and of course, final score, Georgia 52, Ole Miss 17. Carson Beck, I think, it's kind of put all this stuff to rest about, what he can do and what he can't do. 18 to 25, 306 yards, two touchdowns, only one pick. And then the Georgia running attack started to crank it up. Uh, Kendall Milton, 127 yards, but on just 9 carries. Bulldogs amassed 611 yards of total offense. And it was well balanced too. 300 yards in the air and 300 yards on the ground. Yeah, just Yeah, they do what they had to do. Okay, Sully says Ole Miss was a top 10 team and everybody was doubting the dogs. And he said, yeah, baby. Listen, that's the kind of game I think that everybody was looking to see out of this team. Georgia had seemed to be just kind of coasting along, but as usual, Kirby shows why he's one of the great coaches in college football right now. He's got his guys stoked. I'm sure he told them all week long about, hey man, they undervalue you. We're at home. They don't respect you, and they don't have to worry about that no more.
Well, not just that. Everybody does need to give them their respect. They are the reigning national champions, back to
Two
back.
times. Yep.
Right, not just 2 times, but back to back. I mean,
Back to back.
that's hard to do, and so they definitely deserve their respect. And then they will be that way until Michigan knocks them off this year. I just had to throw that in there, but
Until Michigan. All right. Yep. And Sully reminds everybody it's going to be must-see TV in about another couple of weeks. SEC Championship. One more time. Alabama against Georgia. Nick Saban trying to get his team back in the national title picture because, in fact, if Alabama was to beat Georgia, most likely they would vault ahead and be in the conversation for the college football playoffs and leave some very hard decisions for the college football playoff folks, especially if you have an undefeated Washington still lurking around. So it's going to be very, very interesting because Washington played very well, knocked off a top 10 team in Oregon. So yeah, it's going to come down the wire. It's going to be very, very interesting. But right now, Georgia looks like they're the best team in the country again. So just saying. All right, guys.
I guess. Yeah, I guess. I was about to say Michigan does, but yeah, after the way that they demolished Ole Miss.
I mean, waxed them.
I mean, that was. Yeah, they definitely won that argument this week.
Yeah, I mean, they just were like, look, we're tired of people talking about us, and they just beat the brakes off on me. And like literally in every single category, like I said, 300 yards on the ground, 311 yards passing. They averaged 10 yards a play, which is crazy. I mean, they averaged the first down every play. 5 of 8 out of third down conversions, and yeah, they were just dominant. Just a dominant performance. So kudos to them. All right, guys, we'll be back with more of the Real Talk Sports Show. And coming up next, well, you got to stay tuned to find out what we got coming up next. Keep it locked right here for more of the Real Talk Sports Show. We'll be right back.
Are you in the market for a new vehicle? Well, check out Allen Vigil Ford Lincoln in Morrow, Georgia. We have one of the largest inventories in our area for both new and pre-owned vehicles, so we're sure to have something for everyone. Family owned and operated since 1982, customer satisfaction is our number one priority. Come see our full lineup of vehicles and find the one that best fits you. Give us a call today, 678-726-5739, or shop us 24/7 online at allenvigilford.net.
This is OJ Howard with Real Talk Sports.
What's up, guys? This is Tim Tebow. You're listening to Real Talk Sports.
This is Charles Woodson. Let me grab the mic. You ready? This is Charles Woodson with Real Talk Sports. Hey, it's your boy JB Smooth with Real Talk Sports.
We're back, guys. You're listening to the Real Talk Sports Show because we now also are available on the podcast. YouTube actually turns all our shows down to a podcast so you can listen to us wherever you might be traveling along to. Again, go to our YouTube page, like our page, follow us, subscribe, I should say, and of course, ring that bell so you will know what is going on. Well, guys, as I told you, we're always trying to do something a little different here on the show. So we have a new segment called Falcons Flashback. And we started this on Saturday. Our Saturday program, we wanted to bring it to our Tuesday program. This gentleman, I did some research and found the AJC voted him as one of the top 50 all-time Falcons. I'm talking about number 81 is back with our show, Mr. Michael Haynes. Welcome back, sir.
Hey, man, how you doing, man? It's good to be back with you guys. How everything going on?
Hey, good to see you, sir. How you be?
I am wonderful, man. I am sorry I'm in the car, but I was leaving. We had a basketball game tonight. My son plays basketball along with football and lacrosse, and he runs track. So he's a busy kid in high school.
Well, I wonder where you got that from.
Yeah, I guess that's true. That's true. Apple don't fall far from the tree.
I'm just saying. Well, Mike, like I said, man, it's good to have you. Always, pleasure. Mike and I first met, I think, when he was still doing some stuff with the football club up on the north side.
Yeah, the Touchdown Club. Yeah, absolutely. He
Yep.
used to come out, man. Look, he used to come out and bless us, and we really appreciate that.
I found out what Tree had come down to our station once, Mike. I remember her telling me, she said, Jonathan, she goes, I don't know if I can do that anymore because it was a long drive because Tree lives up north as well. And I remember taking the drive to come see you guys that Monday night. I thought to myself, I remember we're going to get here. I mean, it took me, I think, about an hour and 10 minutes one way to get to you guys. But I got to tell you something. It was really, if you talk about me blessing you, but it was a great blessing. So well received by the parents. Again, you had some great guys come out like Sam Crenshaw and some of the other former Falcons that came out, and certainly we were very, very blessed to be on the premises of Andy Stanley's North Point Church, which what a facility that was,
Absolutely.
or I should say is.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, man, that what's been really cool is we've been doing it for a while, and to watch kids like Josh Dobbs, who just come in here and beat our Falcons last Sunday. He was our Player of the Year in 2012. So to have kids like that go through the program, and it's really cool to watch those kids go through and then become pros. I mean, it's just an awesome thing.
Yeah, good stuff, man, and I just appreciate some of the stuff you're doing in the community. So speaking of that, tell us kind of some of the things that you are doing or you have coming up, or what you've been doing. I know you're talking about well, you tell everybody since me talking.
Well, right now, I coach high school football at Fellowship Christian, where my son goes to school. I am the assistant receiver coach, and then I am the head coach for track and field. So I also coach track and field. And my day job is I'm the executive director of North Metro Miracle League, which Miracle League is an organization that we do softball for disabled families. And I say families because our oldest participant in softball is 92, Miss Rose, and our youngest one is 4-year-old Ryan. So we cover all the gambit, and we don't care what your disability is. We want you to come out and hang out with us and play games and have fun.
Wow. Well, Tree, I guess I can't play dormant anymore. I have to go out. You talking about people playing at 92?
Yeah, Miss Rose, man, she's 92. She comes out and like I said, we deal with special needs kids and adults. So, like I said, we don't care what your disability is. We want you to come out and have some fun, and that's the reason why we do it.
Well, you got a big shout out from Sully. He's up there and coming. He's just saying, Michael. Yeah, Sully's got a restaurant out there, and he puts it out here for us. So he says, when are we gonna have lunch together? His restaurant, he says, on him. So he's out there and coming. He's
Absolutely,
supposed to have the best
We need to make that
restaurant there
happen
is.
ASAP, Sully.
I know
That's
that's
right.
right. Let's make that happen ASAP.
Well, I tell you, you guys tell me, because you guys are closer, I think, to him. I'll just have to make the arrangements to come on up and join everybody, and maybe we can do it on one of the Falcons away games. We kind of go up there and grab something to eat, and because Sully's been a great, great, great supporter of our program, and he
Awesome.
just simply says, "My man." Tree, any questions for Mr. Michael Haynes?
Yes, I do have a question. I love what you all do and getting the families out to participate in softball. What actually made you want to get involved in such a wonderful cause?
Well, I've always been a coach at heart, and I met John McLaughlin, who actually started this program uh, 21 years ago, and he asked me to come out and help out, and I kind of just fell in love. So I've been doing this 21 years, and when he retired, I just it was obvious for me to step in and continue the charge. I mean, I love coaching. I still coach. I got it. My team is the first team that plays every Saturday. I got the 4 to 12-year-olds, and man, we just go out and have a good time. And it's for a great cause. We got a really beautiful park over at a really beautiful facility over at North Park where we participate, and it's just been awesome, man. We just we get out and we give families who got kids with disabilities the opportunity to participate. The majority of times they sit and watch their able-bodied brothers and sisters participate in sports. Well, we put them in the game. So we want to make sure they get to the opportunity to do what everybody else gets to do.
I love that.
think we have a question here for social media. He wants to know, since you played with this man, he said, did you see the potential in Brett Favre when he was on the Falcons?
Absolutely. I mean, Brett came in as the young gun, man. He's slinging the ball all over the place. Here's what happened to Brett. We had Chris Miller, and at that time, Chris Miller had gone to his first Pro Bowl. Matter of fact, it was his second Pro Bowl the year we drafted Brett. And so Brett became a commodity for us that we could use to get better other players. Well, now we had no idea he was going to turn into the Brett Favre that he turned into, but we knew he was very good at what he did. But like I said, Chris Miller was going to the Pro Bowl at that time. We had really good receivers in Andre Rison. We had Sean Collins, and Brett just came one of those guys who we were able to use him to get other players on the team.
Yeah, no doubt, man. The guy was a, but the thing about it is that I think that Buckhead life might have messed up Brett a little bit, sir.
Well, we knew he was special. I mean, you can tell that kid was going to be special. But at the time, we had a guy in Chris Miller that was he was balling out also. So.
Then we got another question from social media. I think Sully's saying, Mike, I got a question for you. What was the most emotional game you played in your NFL career?
I'm originally from New Orleans, and 1991 was our really big season, and we played them down in New Orleans in our first playoff game, and beating them was probably one of the most emotional games because I scored the winning touchdown, but I scored 2 touchdowns that game, and it advanced us to play against the Redskins, who beat us and went on to win the Super Bowl that year.
Now, on that second touchdown, was that like a Hail Mary type touchdown late in the game?
No, it was it was actually a hitch, which was a 5-yard play that I turned into 75 yards. So the Hail Mary came early in the year against the 49ers. I don't know if you remember that, but it was the first time we had beaten the 49ers twice in a season.
Yeah, it must have been something. And of course, now that I'm going to ask the question: what was it like to play with Prime Time?
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. Prime was probably the benefit to my career. I got a chance to practice against that dude every day for 5 years, and so I knew that on Sundays I wasn't gonna play against somebody who was as good as he was. So it helped my career out a lot having him on our team. I mean, people don't realize how having a player like him can be dominant to your team, because not only, like I say, I practiced against him every day for 5 years. So I got the benefit of being able to learn and how to beat the best. And he was the best.
And one more question here. Todd is saying, do you have a good Prime story?
Yeah, I got a lot of good Prime stories. Prime was one of those dudes. I'm gonna tell you, he was one of those guys that it was like two people. He was Deion Sanders, the whole humble dude, and then when the lights came on, he was Prime Time. He was just, man, he loves to fish. He was here's my Prime story. He was afraid of horses. Now, go figure. He did not like horses, but he loved to fish. He loved to hang out with the players. He loved to hang out with the team. But when the lights came on and the TV cameras started rolling, he turned into Prime Time.
Tree, any more questions for Mike?
What's your favorite memory of being a Falcon?
I would say, I have a few. Now, my absolute favorite would be, I still hold the record for the longest touchdown reception from scrimmage. So it's 98 yards. I still hold that record. And then I also had when we first opened up the Georgia Dome, I scored the first touchdown in the Dome on the very first play from offense, so which was really cool. So yeah, we went, man. We had talked about Glanville was our head coach, and he talked about going one play out and scoring a touchdown on it. And man, we went up and did it. So
that's impressive.
That's good stuff, bro. And yep, and so it just says yes, sir. All right, we're gonna take a quick little break. We're gonna have you come back, Mike, because I'm sure both Queen and myself would like to get your opinion on the state of the current Falcons as they are coming along right now. All right, guys, keep it locked right here for more with Falcons great legendary Mike Haynes. Don't go anywhere, please. Thank you, and thank you.
Welcome to the Real Talk Sports Show. I'm Aria the.
Are you in the market for a new vehicle? Well, check out Allen Vigil Ford Lincoln in Morrow, Georgia. We have one of the largest inventories in our area for both new and pre-owned vehicles, so we're sure to have something for everyone. Family owned and operated since 1982, customer satisfaction is our number one priority. Come see our full lineup of vehicles and find the one that best fits you. Give us a call today, 678-726-5739, or shop us 24/7 online at allenvigilford.net. Just want to say congratulations on getting your new F-350 from us here at Allen Vigil Ford. Thank you for your business.
Thank you.
God bless.
All right, thank you.
Brian, just want to say congratulations, man. Thanks for coming down from Tennessee to get your new truck from us.
Thank you.
God bless and have a safe trip.
Yes, sir.
Congratulations. What do you think? Is it worth the wait, buddy?
I love it. I can't wait to get on the road with it.
Well, listen, man, thank you very much, and congratulations to you. We appreciate your business.
Thank you, Jonathan. Appreciate your business.
Thank you, Ron.
All right, guys, for those of you who don't know, one of the other reasons I mentioned Allen Vigil Ford is because yours truly is a commercial rep there. So if you need a vehicle for yourself or your family, please don't be afraid to hit me up. You can call me on the cell, 678-410-9833, or you can shoot me an email, jsimmons@realtalksports.net. Believe it or not, actually, incentives are coming back. So some of the vehicles have low financing again, some of the vehicles have rebates. So if you need anything, again, hit me up, jsimmons@realtalksports.net, or just call or text me, 678-410-9833. All right, Tree, questions for Mike, especially regarding the Falcons like today?
You said guarding the Falcons today?
No. Any questions for Mike about his opinions about the Falcons?
What are your thoughts of the Falcons today?
You know, I think we got a really good team. We play like we are a young squad. We make mistakes at the wrong times. All of the games that we've played so far, we've been in the games and then just make a mistake at the end to lose the games. I think we got a really good nucleus of offensive players. Little kind of testy on the quarterback. You know, we're trying to figure out whether it's going to be Heineken, whether it's going to be Desmond. I mean, whether we're going to draft a kid next year. So, but we have a good nucleus of offensive players surrounding that guy. So we're able to do well. I think our defense has been playing very well. You know, we lost Grady for the season, but he'll be back. And, you know, I think we get a few key players. We can be very good.
Before we go back to the current Falcons, a couple more questions here from social media. From Todd, he said, Jeff George, was he as bad a dude as we think?
Jeff George?
Yeah.
I didn't get a chance to play with Jeff George.
Okay.
When Jeff was in Atlanta, I was in New Orleans.
Gotcha.
So I missed him. And then when I came back to the Falcons, he was gone. But he had a cannon, man. He had a cannon for an arm. I mean, I wish I would have got an opportunity to play with him.
Well, there you go. And we've got Slim Jim Longfoot. He's saying, hey, everyone, he's got the hashtag up that's going around social media, Fire Arthur.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we'll pop it up on there.
That's going around.
Oh, yeah, on Twitter, that it wasn't so much about the last game, but the game against Minnesota, man, that hashtag was trending for like all of Sunday. Yeah, I thought the people were going to storm the stadium was so bad. Yeah, it was.
Really?
Yeah,
I guess I don't know. Well, you know, I'm partial. I wanted my Vikings to win, but
oh my goodness, you wanted the Vikings to win.
Of course.
I think here's why people are going off the rails right here.
Yeah, I mean, that honestly just showed me how awesome Dobbs is, and I'm happy that we got him, because if he would not have avoided so many sacks, the game would have definitely had a different outcome.
No doubt. Well, speaking of the Falcons, guys, when we talk Falcons football,
On
we
the
always like
radio
to bring
show.
in a guy that is the most knowledgeable about Falcons anywhere in the world. He's the embedded beat writer for AJC Sports, and he is a Esquire Parks Salon. So I'm talking about the one and only first question man in any press conference. D. Orlando Ledbetter is back in the building. D. Led, what's going on, sir?
Hey, Reverend.
D-Led.
Not too much. How you all doing tonight? Hey, Michael and Miss Tree, how's everything going?
What's
Hey,
up, D-Led? How you doing, man?
All right.
Well, D. Led, I've been trying to do this on our Tuesday segment. We did it once on our Saturday segment, but Mike was kind enough to jump in here on Tuesday, and I thought that you guys reminisce a little bit and then talk about what on earth is going on with this team right now.
Yeah, Reverend. The three losses here going into the bye week. Everybody had predicted a little bit better things for them this season. I had them at 7-3. I didn't count on them losing to Washington, the Titans, and Arizona. I thought they'd lose to the Vikings, but I thought Kirk Cousins would be playing in that game. So, but what we've seen is that the offense hasn't been able to flow and score points. They've been able to stack yards, but getting in the end zone is very important in football, and they have not been able to do that on a consistent basis. And the turnovers have been a part of it. The red zone issue, where you're only about 54% now. And the fact that short yardage, they don't know what to do. They're running jet sweeps and stuff on the 1 yard line and so forth. So power football, short yardage, get the red zone together and throw the deep ball. They didn't work on it in the exhibition season. So I was out at practice with Terrence Mathis. He's like, well, he doesn't want to throw it. He's out here running all day. So, that's the offense has some deficiencies. They can't hit the deep ball. And that has allowed defenses to come up and play those intermediate routes and those quick game routes a little bit tighter because they know that they can't make them pay over the top. So that's some stuff for them to fix here over the bye week and try to get moving here down the final 7 games. They're just a game back of the Saints with 7 games to play and 2 head-to-head matchups. So, they're not out of anything. They can fix some stuff and get moving, or they can keep playing on this bad slope and really be irrelevant in the latter parts of the season.
Social media, of course, it went wild. As soon as D-Led hits the thing, they got a gazillion questions. Let's pop this up here. Actually, this is a question from Mike, I think.
Okay.
H.C. Hardy says, do you think when you were in New Orleans with Jim Everett, the quarterback, if there was a change in quarterback, would you guys have been more successful?
I know Jim was a very good quarterback. Jim, Jim spent most of his career with the Rams.
The Rams, yep.
And he was a very good quarterback for them. He came in, he still had a lot left in the tank. We played very well. I mean, the Saints, we shot ourselves in the foot. We kind of, like D-Lad just talked about, turnovers. You cannot turn the ball over and win football games in the NFL. You just can't do it. I mean, the team that wins the turnover battle is the team that's going to win the games. And that's the problem with the current Falcons right now. They turn the ball and they're getting turnovers. And when you get that, I mean, you just can't win football games. You give that other team more possessions than you have. And I mean, those guys are good. So they're going to score points on you.
D-Led, Todd got to throw some shade. He says, please fire the trust fund kid.
And, oh my goodness.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah,
we don't need talking about getting rid of Arthur, huh?
We don't need to get personal like that. I mean, the coach has done a good job the first 2 years, 7-10, with some bad teams, and we were just expecting them to make a step up this year, and we just haven't seen it yet. But there's still time. There's still time to clean some stuff up. So yeah, I think it's a little premature. It's not everybody on social media. You don't have to pay attention to. It's a bad place out there. I kind of block it out. I'm glad during the bye week I got my story done today and podcast. I'm gonna try to turn my phone off for 4 days here and see what that's like.
Well, I will tell you this.
Go ahead, Mike.
I think that we are in a bad division. I mean, we got 7 games left. We can still play well those 7 games and still win our division and get into the playoffs. But we got to stop turning the ball over. I mean, we can't make those type of mistakes. And I mean, you lose ball games on just doing stuff that's silly. But like I say, our division is terrible. And so we can still play these 7 games and still win the division and get into the playoffs.
Tree, questions or comments for either Mr. Haynes or D. Orlando Ledbetter about our Falcons?
D-Led!
Hey, Tree.
I miss seeing you. I have a question for you. With the progress that you've seen with the Falcons and how you're saying that we still have a chance, what are the major keys outside of what Mike was saying with not turning the ball over? Do you think that the Falcons need to give them that push over?
Yeah, I just went back and looked at everything on defense. It's stopping the run, and according to Calais Campbell, it's stopping the quarterback runs. The 66 yards and the 39 yards to Dobbs and Murray skew their run numbers. They in the 6 games they've won, 6 games they've lost. The opposition has rushed for more than 100, and in the 4 games they've won, they've held them under 100. So stop the run. It all starts there. Richie Grant, his numbers came up back really bad. So he's got to play a little bit better coverage. They don't have an option. They traded away Jalen Hawkins, so they don't have a safety option other than DeMarco Hallams. But his problem was coverage at Alabama. He's a good hitter and everything. So those are defensively, that's what you need to do. And like Mike said, the turnovers on offense, but hitting the deep ball is going to back people up off of them, and they got to do something. Even if they don't hit it, I mean, you got to throw it enough to where they're at least got it on film that hey, they're gonna you got to make them pay for coming up and putting 9 and 10 people in the box.
Yeah, these numbers are. Well, I mean, I like the rushing numbers. They had a rush for 180 yards, but I cannot believe when I'm looking here, D-Led, at the passing yards for an NFL team.
Yeah,
if I'm reading correctly,
204.8, 204.9, 21st in the league.
And against the Cardinals, I cannot believe I'm reading that the Falcons in an NFL game did not throw for even 100 yards. Looks like he threw for about 70 yards.
Yeah, that is sad, ain't it? That is sad.
Yeah, but
and listen, we got weapons. We got weapons on offense. Those kids can play football. I don't understand how we are not distributing the ball to them like we should. And I agree with you. You have to throw the deep ball. You got to balance that offense by making them come up. Making them play honest. Because if you don't throw the deep ball, like you said, they can get up in their face and they know they're not going to throw it over the top. So they won't play honest.
Mm-hmm. And that's what I saw in the Arizona game. My only D-back I knew, I did my homework going in. I didn't know a lot of these D-backs, but Buda Baker and the rest of the guys, they were just guys, and they were sticking all over the Falcon receiver. They knew the plays. They knew the routes. And they weren't afraid. And that's why Heineke was holding the ball so long. And he took off a couple times on some scrambles that worked out pretty good. But, yeah, they were running the routes. Sometimes I was just watching the routes, and the Cardinals were running the routes better than the receivers. They were showing up at the ball too quick. They knew the routes. It was pretty clear what was going on. They needed to switch up the routes or come with some different combinations here because everybody's got their stuff from the you got 10 games of tape out there. They the NFL coaches are in those offices for. They watching film over and over and over.
Absolutely, I agree.
So they got to come up with something, a twit. What do you call that? Come up with an adjustment, to their route combinations to throw people off.
Yeah, let's go to social media again here. We got a nice little comment there by Slim Jenny. Said, "Everybody, please leave a like," and he's sharing our program out right now. H.C. Hardy says, "Poor play calling, and now your high-paid receivers have become track stars." Yeah.
Yeah, I don't take the play calling bait. That's every, you can say that every week. So let's be specific. Are the people open or they're missing people? The play calling I do fall is a jet sweep on the one. I want to see power football there. Short yardage, empty backfield stuff, shotguns inside the 20. You're pulling the ball away from the way you're going.
Well,
I just have problems with that. Some of the old school coaches do too. So I want to see
you
you under
still have
center.
to look. You still got to go out and execute play as a player. You
Mm-hmm.
still got to go out and execute plays. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
you can't blame it on play calling because some of those plays I've been watching them, and you just got to go out and you got to execute. As a player, you go out and you do your job, do what you're supposed to do, and I mean, those plays can be successful if the players go out and play.
Yes, that's my point too, Mike. And play calling. Everybody's got good designs and schemes, but the players got to be able to pull them off and make them come to life.
We got some big shout outs here. First time joining us on the broadcast, giving some comments. Big Low Country Sports.
Hey,
He says, "What's up, boy?
Thank you for watching.
Thank you. And he gives a big shout out to Slim Jim. That's his guy right there. So Slim Jim and Big Low Country showing Real Talk Sports some love. So appreciate you guys, man. And yeah, we actually please share the broadcast if you can. Remember, follow us anywhere on social media at Real Talk Sports, the number 7. And I mean, when I did my recap, I told people that the frustration for me is, I mean, as much as people want to take shots at Arthur Smith, I couldn't really blame him for the loss last week. I mean, there was plenty to go around. At the end of the day, as much as you said about the play calling, the offense did what you're supposed to do. They took the ball, drove down, got the go-ahead score, and then the defense, I mean, it was almost like watching a replay of the Minnesota game. You have a running quarterback. He's already hurt you early in the game. There was no spy. And then the same play they did against Dobbs. They let Murray break containment and pick up a first down. I mean, when you had 3rd and long. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, I can't blame for that. And then on as much as I kind of maybe questioned a little bit about, going for the first down, but I guess about 6 minutes left to go,
Mm-hmm.
and they had the ball there. Because my thinking was, if you're playing by the numbers, you're running 50%. I said, you just got the one before. I'm like, take the points and get out of Dodge. But again, that play would have worked. But Ritter, you watch the replay, he slipped and fell.
Yeah,
I mean, before he even got to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's more of a an execution thing than a play call, because that it looked like the hole was there, but you can't fall out. All right, let's go to social media again. Todd says, nah, he's not protecting the Falcons, Todd. You always trying to throw some shade, man. Hold on a second. When Todd gets on, I
I
forgot.
didn't
Hold on.
see what it said.
Hold on. I gotta put my shades on because Todd's good for throwing some shades.
Throwing some shade, huh?
Yeah, he listen, he wants D-Led and Coach Arthur Smith to argue every time they go to press conference. That's Todd's highlight. He's like, he can't do it unless there's some drama. All right. Slim Jim says, hey, we love the A, that's why we're here. Slim Jim also say, we'll definitely share, Jonathan. I appreciate you. And last but not least, they said salute to everybody. Mike, Tree, D-Led, we appreciate all of you guys, and definitely thank you guys. Appreciate you.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Tree, always good to see you. D-Led, man. Keep it going, man. Good job.
Thank you, Mike.
Well, you guys always, like I said, we appreciate all you guys for dropping in. And I want to ask you both this question. And Tree, I'm going to ask you a question, even though like you're not necessarily a Falcons fan. What would be the 2 or 3 things that each of you guys would think, okay, if I was the GM/coach, what would be like 2 or 3 things you say, this is what I would do to help turn this whole thing around? And Mike, I'll go to you first.
Number one, figure out who your quarterback's going to be. I mean, we got to, you got to pick somebody and we got to stand behind them unless they're going to decide to draft somebody else. Whoever the quarterback is, we got to stand behind that person. I mean, you can't be, going one guy and the next guy because that throws everything off as a ball player. So number one would be whoever your quarterback is, let's pick that dude and let's stand behind him. 2, make sure you have a solid defense. I mean, like you said, in the Arizona game, we went out, the offense did what they were supposed to do, and then the defense let you down. in football, it's, if you up 3 points and they got a minute and something left in the game, and it's hard to stop them. So you got to be able to, run as much time off the clock as you can before you score. And I know that's hard. Just saying that, it's hard to do, but you got to, it's all about schemes in the game. I mean, coaches, that's where the coaches play a really huge part in the game, because it's all about the right scheme. It's all about putting the right players in the right positions to make sure you're successful.
D-Lad, what about you? Give me 2 or 3 things you think that you would do to get this thing turned around.
Do what you simplify things. They know what they do well by now, and do that. Lean into the run game, and that should open up your passing game. That'll help settle down the quarterback. Also, just don't, go out there with a purpose. Have some bread and butter things. Definitely go in power and short yardage. Defensively, you gotta. I'm blitzing here for the rest of the way. I'm going after quarterbacks. I'm, not headhunting, but we're going to attack the quarterback down the stretch here. They've sent some blitzes, but not enough to affect the quarterback. They only have 21 sacks, 21 sacks, which I believe is 27th in the league. But yeah, I want to improve the pass rush. With Grady Jarrett out, I think that's a major tweak that they can do on the defensive side of the ball to help out the guys that aren't doing so well in coverage. Richie Grant, Caden Ellis, and Nate Lamb, the linebackers and the free safety. So Jesse Bates is a baller back there, and if you make people start putting the ball up early before they want to, he's gonna find it. So those are some of the things that they can do here down the stretch to win some of these games and maybe get in contention for the playoffs and the division title.
Tree, how about you?
Well, I first would like to say it's not that I don't like the Falcons. I have love for the Falcons. My husband played for them too. So I love all of my husband's teams. So I do want to say that. But I agree with what Mike said, because we definitely have to have a quarterback who we know who is our quarterback. When you look at every successful team that wins Super Bowls and that goes far, they have a quarterback, and it's that one quarterback that's on the field. That really is key. And you know how I feel about defense. Defense wins championships. We need people on the field who is actually going to scare the other team. Great players. And that's what we need. So I think quarterback and then build that defense. Defense is really going to make all the difference.
Yeah. So as far as I'm concerned, I think that they definitely should stick to the run. I'd like to see more of those power lineups where you got 2 and sometimes 3 tight ends in, and then you can kind of pass off that to a guy like a Pitts. I also would like to see them continue to sprinkle in those RPOs, because it seems like that's a play that actually has been very successful for them, especially in the red zone. I'd like to see more of that. And then last but not least, the biggest thing on defense is they have to find a way to not give up these big plays, because their defense plays pretty well week in, week out, but it seems like they always, at least 2, 3, 4 times in the game, give up a big play and give it up when they just absolutely can't. So those will be the 3 for me. Kind of stay with the run. I'd like to see more of those jumbo, lineups. We got 2 or 3 tight ends in there and just play some smash mouth football. Like to see them continue to sprinkle in the RPOs. I think an Atlanta quarterback and his offense, the way they're set up, I think the quarterback is going to have to run either to pick up a first down or to occasionally give the defense something else to think about. I think they need to run the ball about 7 times a game. No Michael Vick, but 7 or 8 times a game, just enough to keep the defense honest. And last but not least, the defense can't give up chunk plays. I think if those 3 things could go, the Falcons might have something. Let's go back to social media here. And Todd says, Mike, you look like you suit up. He said, get out there, it's bye week. Get ready. So, let's go.
Look, I'm going to tell you that they got good receivers on this team, so I don't think they need me.
And Tila, I think Todd's got a question for you. He wants to know, is Kyle Pitts still not 100%? He says he's still hurt.
No, I think he's fine. We did see a slow start to the season. The knee was troublesome. There's some whispers about how his rehab went, and may probably could have been attacked a little bit harder, but we don't question that with pro athletes. They know their bodies. But he's looked fine. He's feel fine. He's been good to deal with. Just had the birth of his son. Nothing's amiss there with Kyle Pitts. We did talk about Coach Larry Scott, the Howard coach, coming to town. That was his tight ends coach. If they beat Morgan State this week, they'll be in the Celebration Bowl. And I know Kyle has talked to the team several times. So, all's good on Kyle Pitts' front. He's got 59 targets. I was looking up all these numbers. London's got 59. He's got 58. So he's a big part of the offense. They're trying to get him involved.
Well, we're going to do this now. I was going to wait to towards the end, but no, we can't let this go. Ladies and gentlemen, we want to announce that the Howard Bisons destroyed one of the best teams in HBCU college football as they ran, stole, grabbed, and snatched a 50-20 win over North Carolina Central in a dominant performance, which now leads them one win away from coming back to the A. And D-Led's going to show off if they come back to
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we looks like FAM's going to come out of the other side. So that will a Howard FAMU game. That'd be an old MEAC reunion battle. But be a good for the city too. Good for both schools will travel, and we'll have a good time. The FAM might be a little bit tougher, but we unleashed our secret weapon. I've been telling y'all about him. We got Edgerrin James' son, Eden James, sophomore.
Eden James, yeah.
I mean, they were calling me last spring, like, hey, this kid's different. This kid's different. And they've been kind of bringing him along slowly this year, but then they let him out against the Eagles there. And they weren't ready for Eden James last weekend, is what I heard out of DC. So
they had no answer.
No answer for Edgerrin James' son, who's doing fine work and leading the Bison up there in the rushing game.
Yeah, I knew you were excited. I was thinking about you when I saw the headline.
Oh, yeah, I was getting texts all day from that one. And sent Coach Scott a congratulatory text after the game.
Well, H.C. Hardy said back to the Falcons, he said his three suggestion would be bring some packages that Ritter had success with when he was in Cincinnati, encourage and motivate, and keep your weapons on the field, including special teams. I don't know if you want to put those guys in the special teams arm way, but yeah, at the end of the day, man, I mean, I don't know, you guys tell me. I mean, like I said, I've not played at that any kind of level, so but I look at it, I would think that a coach's job would be to find to maximize the talent on his team and to find a way to give his players the best opportunity to be successful. And at times during the season, it looks like the Falcons have not done that.
Yeah, he's alluded to guys being decoys and the systems and the faking it to people. But I'm like, every team I've been on or been around, and that going back to the Bengals, covering the Bengals and the Packers, and here, they got bread and butter plays. They got stuff that works, and they run them. Sam Weiss used to run all their stretch. They didn't have a lot of plays. I mean, they ran James Brooks and Ickey Woods, and they ran them on the stretch stuff, and they threw off of it. It wasn't unreal. It wasn't like they were trying to reinvent the wheel with 20 different players playing different packages and going empty, going 3 wides, 5 wide. Some of that stuff don't work. But they know what works by now, and that's all I'm saying is, hey.
Yeah, after 10 games in, you're right.
Yeah, they know. Yeah, so use the stuff that works and throw out. Quit trying to be creative and flashy and all that. Just go with 3rd and 1. Don't make it hard. You're on the 1 yard line. Go straight ahead. It's not. It's real simple football for me.
Well, Jonathan, I think you said it correctly when you said that it's the coach's job to put the players in the best situation for their talent level.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, everybody's, all those guys got talent. Don't get me, I'm not saying that, but certain guys got different talent levels than other. it's the coach's job to make sure that he's maximizing those players and putting them in the best situation to be successful.
Tree, your thoughts?
Well, I agree completely. You have to know who plays best, what they do best, and when you do that, everything comes together, and you typically see the best results that come out of that. You definitely have to know your players. You can't coach every team the same. You can't coach every player the same. That's a fact. You have to know everybody's strengths and weaknesses, and then use those to the best of the ability for the betterment of the team.
I agree.
I
guess you have to take a page out of Dan Campbell's book, right?
Hey, go Lions, one pride. Can I just say how happy I am that my Michigan Wolverines won, my Minnesota Vikings won, and my Detroit Lions won. It's just been a great weekend in football. I'm ecstatic. You see Michigan. I'm a proud Michigander right now. Well, I'm always a proud Michigander, but I'm cheesing extra big right now. And I do want to say, I have a question, D-Led and Jonathan, Mike, you too, but they heard me prior. How many weeks ago was it that I said that my Detroit Lions were going to the Super Bowl? Do you remember that? That was a while ago, right? Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just saying. Now I'm starting to see that other people are starting to say the same thing. So I'm just saying.
Now, Tree, it's still November, right? It's still November.
Listen, I know. But do you guys remember with Tampa Bay and Tom Brady? Remember how early I said, I think they're going to be the first NFL team to play the Super Bowl at home and win it at home. And do you remember how everybody looked at me like I had 3 heads? And what happened that year? I'm just saying. So I just have a feeling. I hope my feeling is right, but we'll see.
And not only that, but she went down to Tampa Bay and she actually was covering for the Real Talk Sports Show too. She was right there live and in person with all the other stuff she was doing. But listen, let's do this. Give me a shout out. We want to give honor to whom honors due. The Detroit Lions and the Los Angeles Chargers played one of the best games in the NFL this year. Absolute shootout. And let's just read the stats. Jared Goff looking like why he was a top 10 pick as a quarterback, 23 of 33, 333 yards, 2 touchdowns. And of course, the baller at the wide receiver position, Amon-Ra St. Brown, 8 receptions, 156 yards. I know Mike said that's my kind of numbers. 1 touchdown. And really the big key was that balance. David Montgomery coming back, 12 carries, 116 yards, almost 10 yards a carry, and a touchdown. And yeah, it just was a shootout. Keenan Allen had 175 yards and receptions for the Chargers. Justin Herbert lighting them up, 27 of 40, 323 and 4 touchdowns. But at the end of the day, the Detroit Lions find a way to win it, 41-38. So the Lions now find themselves at 7-2, one of the best teams in the NFC.
Woo, like one pride.
You're getting some love there, Tree. Slim Jim says, man, if the Lions win the Super Bowl before us, I'm going to go ahead and just going to cry. LOL.
Well, I hope so. I really do. As many of you know, my Lions have never been to a Super Bowl. I've been a loyal Detroit Lion fan my entire life. Even when we had the worst record in the NFL, I was still a proud Lion fan. And so for us to have this season, which I've been saying, Jonathan, D-Led, for the past couple of years, I've been talking about how our team is getting better. And I just felt like this year was just going to be a really great year for us. So I'm very excited to see that we're 7-2, but we can't get excited because the job isn't even close to being done or over. We still have so much more to do. We have to keep pushing. We can't give up. I love that it's talking about grit all season, and that's what we need to have. And I think that Dan Campbell is the perfect coach for us. I thought that from the moment that they hired him, and I'm really excited to see what my Detroit Lions will do this year.
Yeah, it looks sensational. They really look good, a balanced team. Mike knows about the importance of balance. D-Led, we saw that a little bit of that in the Falcons, better years. They had a balanced team. They had good defense, explosive offense, and made it do what it do. Speaking of D-Led, Todd is always teasing you, man, but here's what he has to say. He said, D-Led, I love you, man. He said, I just want you to keep coaching line, LOL.
Oh,
Yeah, coach is his own man. We just want him to. We just need answers to our questions. We'll let him do his thing.
Oh, yeah, no doubt about that. All right, so I put out here, Sully said, would you like the Vikings? Yes, she does.
I do.
And now here's a question, HC Hart. These guys, I'm gonna put this out to Mike and D Led. Question they have is, do you think Brian Flores will now get another opportunity for a head coaching job, with what he's doing with the Minnesota defense? What do you guys think about that? Flores, you think he's gonna get another shot? And if so, I'll ask you first, Mike, where do you think would be a good spot for Brian Flores?
I don't know. Mike? I'll go ahead.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I think he's certainly done enough. There is a legal lawsuit against the league. I don't know which owner would be. Well, we do know which owner would not care. It's Mark Davis.
Right.
Yeah, he wouldn't care about the lawsuit. But yeah, there's the issues of that, and you haven't seen a lot of the African American coaches get a second opportunity. Raheem Morris is still out there. Romeo Cornell got Cleveland and Kansas City. That was one of the exceptions. Yeah, I would. He's certainly done enough to. I mean, the Falcons interviewed him for a defensive coordinator job. He would have been a great defensive coordinator for them. Ryan Nelson's doing pretty good, but I think Coach Gray's got a big hand in on the defense too. So. And he's got Frank Bush over there. Those are African-American longtime assistants that have been defensive coordinators before. So it's really three coordinators over on that side of the ball. So, but yeah, Brian, I think he's certainly done enough, but you don't know, how the lawsuit would affect the owners who already don't really want to hire any African-American coaches.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the thinking is, why that continues to go on. Now, like you said, Todd's always got to be the joker here. He says here, hey Tree, he said the Aggies, Texas A&M is going after your boy Campbell. He said, watch out.
Well, listen, I'm not worried about Campbell going anywhere because I feel that the Lions are definitely going to keep him happy and keep him there. So I'm not worried about him leaving anytime soon. He has a mission and a goal to prove.
Yeah, that's how I think. Mike, before we lost you, we're asking you the question: what do you think Brian Flores will get another opportunity as a head coach? And if so, where do you think he might end up?
I don't know. I think he does get the opportunity. It's usually this time of year when coaches are starting to, there'll be coaches starting to get fired. And a lot of times that, you just got to wait and see what's the best job available. It's tough, especially mid-year, because they'll have an interim coach finish out the season. And then, come off season is when they start hiring and firing and doing a lot of the, replacing coaches.
Yeah, it definitely should be interesting. I'm not sure what the whole thing is about that, but yeah, because I mean, black coaches have shown their ability to win at every level,
no doubt.
So I don't know where there would be a situation. I don't know it's a personality thing. I don't know what the vibe is, but at the end of the day, we just hope that the NFL continues to grow and expand opportunities for not just guys at the at the assistant level, but more head coaches as well. And certainly,
that's all you can ask for. All you can ask for is just the opportunity. Just give them a chance, man. I mean,
right.
I agree, and
we've proven that we can coach. So
yes, and
I'm sorry. Tree, what were you saying?
Expand
Go ahead, Tree.
On coaching for coaches of former players. I think that there's so many former NFL players who would be excellent coaches, and a lot of them don't get a lot of opportunities. So I would like to see more former NFL players get more opportunities as well.
And you say that it's funny because it's just in football that happens. I mean,
exactly.
You see it in basketball, you see it sometimes in baseball. It's football that the guys don't get that opportunity.
Which to me is just the strangest thing. It just does not make sense, and it did not make sense to my husband either. It does not make sense.
Yeah, just kind of really odd stuff. And I got to get one more joke in from Todd. Todd said, "Hey, the Falcons would be good if they ran the wishbone."
Todd is
So
Hey, I know that's right. My my cousin just put it. Weldon Ledbetter. He was just out with visiting with Coach Switzer last weekend. He's got a big Coach Switzer's I think 86. He said he was
about
close
80
to
up. Mhm.
yeah 4 years from 90. But yeah, Weldon was the wishbone fullback 79 to 80 82 out there with Billy Sims and the boys. Yeah, I love to see the wishbone, but they it's too easy to stop now. But the Sooners used to have it rolling. I did a big story. I forgot the coach from Texas who invented the wishbone, Emery Ballard, I believe. But yeah, put him in the wishbone. That'd be fine with me.
Well, speaking of that wishbone, I got a chance to meet when he was selling his book. One of the great wishbone quarterbacks from Oklahoma, and really a guy that could have and maybe should have been a U.S. president, J.C. Watts.
Yeah,
Man, that
That
guy,
was their quarterback when my cousin played there.
that was a bad man. I mean, I remember watching him in the Orange Bowl. He got outside in that corner, man. I mean, I think it was the safety came up and hit him, and I mean, literally cut the legs out of him. While he was airborne, parallel to the ground, he threw that pitch, man, for a touchdown. I mean, that guy was just, I mean, just yeah. As you can see, I was all into that. Yeah, he was a legend and really a great guy off the field, and later turned out,
I
I
know
think a guy that
JC. Yeah,
yeah, he was he
friend of
has
the
some political
family.
metal, man, but they told him to stand down. They said, going back to the farm, bro. We can't.
We
Not,
can't
I
have
mean,
any black Republicans.
I'm listen. I'm just saying because anybody that if you forget the charisma, which is all over the place, but even the way he went about his business in the Congress, this guy was really a good politician, and I just think they thought to themselves, "Hey, we can't do that." Just, but anyway, all that being said, we're gonna wrap it up here. As you guys know, before we let our guest and co-host go, we want you guys know to find out where they are, what they're doing, and how you can follow them wherever they go and to support what they're doing. So, first of all, Mr. Mike Haynes, the floor is yours.
Well, I'm on social media at Mike Hanks 81. You can also check us out, especially the North Metro American League at nmml.net. I mean, we just love folks to support us and be able to come out. We love for people to come out and buddy up with our athletes. We can't do it without volunteers, so we appreciate it. And like I said, just Mike Haynes at Mike Haynes 81 on all social media.
I'll put that up on the screen before you go, Mike. You said at Mike Haynes 81, right?
Yes, sir.
Put that up here right here so you guys can see it. At Mike Haynes, the number 81, just like he wore for your Atlanta Falcons. And you guys will see it right here scrolling on the screen. There it is right there. Bingo. At Mike Haynes 81. You guys know what to do. Follow him on social media. Support what he's doing. Mike, again, we appreciate you for joining us here, man. It's always a great pleasure. And we look forward to having you back on here again. I know your schedule is jammed up, but I'll probably ask you about 3 or 4 times if you don't mind.
I don't mind, man. Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right,
great
Mike, be
having you.
blessed.
Bye.
All right, Trey. Good to see you. All right, D. Ledbetter. Good to see you too, my man.
Likewise, peace, brother Mike.
All right, brother.
All right, D. Orlando Ledbetter, the floor is yours.
Yes, you can find all of my work on ajc.com. My Twitter is at DOrlandoAJC up on the screen, and Instagram at DOrlandoLed. Look for the latest episode of the Bowtie Chronicles podcast. Everything you need to know about the Atlanta Falcons. You can get it on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. Thank you, Reverend and Tree. You'll have a great rest of your week.
You too.
All right.
November 17th, 1911.
There we go.
November 17th.
A happy Howard Bison.
Yes.
Thanks, D-Led.
Thank you.
Bye, D-Led.
All right, the Queen, Tree Dolman, the floor is yours.
Hello, everyone. I first would like to say that this Saturday we are doing our Making a Better Me third annual Turkey and Trimmings giveaway. If you would like to make a donation, you can go to makingabetterme.org and make a donation so that we can buy turkeys and food for families in need so that they can have a Thanksgiving meal with their family. You can again make donations at makingabetterme.org. You can find me personally on social media at Purple Diva 13, as well as Ms. America International 2022.
Let me see if I can get that new banner up here. I think I got the other one here. Let's see if I got it here. Let's hopefully that's the right one. Let's take a peek. Dun, 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 dun. There we go. And remember, guys, here's the website. I'll post that up for you again, makingabetterme.org.
Yes. This is my favorite event that we do all year. We give a frozen turkey and a box with all of the trimmings to families in need.
Many thanks to the Queen. Thank you, thank you, and thank you. All right, guys, you can follow me and really follow the show at Real Talk Sports and number 7. Actually, follow the show. You can follow me personally at Minister J. Sim. Remember, you can reach me if you got a great sports story or if you want to be a part of the show. Send me an email, jsimmons@realtalksports.net, or simply text me at 678-410-9833. Well, guys, I always like to remind you I am a real live minister of the gospel of Jesus Christ. So I'm going to please implore you, if you don't know Jesus Christ as your personal savior, I'm going to tell you, please, ma'am, please, sir, get to do that today. Why? Because he loves you like none other, and he died for your sins. But the cool thing is he rose from the dead. And when he did that, something happens that's wonderful. If you repent of your sins and believe in that, two great things happen to you. Number one, you become a citizen of the kingdom of heaven. And number two, you become an adoptive child of God with all the rights therein. That means you now can go to God like a heavenly parent, ask him for anything you need or desire, and according to his will, he'll give it to you. And number two, when you leave this place, you get to go to the most spectacular, beautiful place ever made called heaven, where there's no pain, no pandemic, no bad people anywhere. You never get old. You never die. It's the most beautiful place ever created. Matter of fact, even the streets are paved with a gold that's so pure, it's translucent. And you avoid that nasty place called hell, where all the things I mentioned in heaven won't be in hell. So it's dark, it's dreary, bad people everywhere. It will be fiery. It'll be terrible. But most of all, you cut off from God, Jesus Christ, and all the people of love forever and a day. I don't know about you, but I like option number one instead of option number two. All right, guys, until the next time we get back together again, you know how we do it. We simply tell you God bless you and have a wonderful rest of your day or evening, whichever may apply. So long, and God bless.